I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And today we're going to be talking about breakup shame. Many people feel ashamed after a breakup. They feel a sense of shame. They're embarrassed. They are unhappy with what's happened. They might feel like a failure. And so I think it's really common to come up when we're sitting with ourselves thinking about what's gone wrong. And I think it'd be helpful if we talked about what shame is, Margaret.
Okay, shame is being talked about more and more, which I think is a good thing because I think we've kind of neglected it as a field. The best definition of shame that I've ever seen says that if you're ashamed, you feel little, helpless, and unlovable. Okay? So think about being born into a family that doesn't run too well. It would be easy to end up feeling like they just sort of left you in the crib. And kids can't blame parents because they need them too badly, so they blame themselves. So the kid can conclude really on, even pre-verbally, that I'm not worth loving because no one has loved me and it must be my fault somehow.
Mm. And there's also something about shame where people attach meaning to who they are. I must not be worthy, just like you're saying.
Right.
Rather than something embarrassing happens, you can move on and still think that you're a worthy person.
Right.
So shame almost has this really deep embedded
Terrible
part
Yes.
to who we are and our identity.
It's like how you value yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
And you may also see the breakup itself as a reflection of your capability to have a relationship or your ability to maintain one.
Yeah.
So breakups can not only activate your attachment fears and abandonment fears, but also your fear of failure. Many of us are perfectionistic. And so coming into a relationship, you want that relationship to succeed. You may want to, eventually make commitment to make your family happy or even for yourself. And so that not following through can feel like a failure to you, that you didn't succeed in this task of bonding with somebody.
Yeah, and then you might just be sitting there with this deep sense of shame.
Yeah.
Deep, almost physical.
Yeah.
I like the way you said that.
Like, this is me.
Right.
I'm just...
Nobody loves
Yeah.
me. Nobody thinks I'm lovable.
Right. Or there's something weird or wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the aspects that comes along with a breakup is everybody in your circle, friends and family, they hear about the breakup and now it's public.
Mm-hmm.
So now everybody is going to have an opinion on the situation, and you've got to talk about it to all these people that keep asking you what happened, what went wrong. It looked like it was going so well.
Right.
And then it's like you feel like you're beating yourself up over the mistakes you've made already publicly, privately, but now you're kind of having to answer questions to people that are like, what happened? It was going so good. I thought we really liked this person.
And you're in even worse trouble if Uncle Grumpy says to you, I knew you'd never hold on to a girl that pretty.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So then it becomes public shame of not feeling like you're not good enough to be in a relationship. And, you may feel obligated to tell these people, the close family and friends, what happened and what went wrong. And you're trying to figure it out. You still don't even know yourself. And now you've got to explain it to everybody.
Yeah.
But you don't have to explain it to anybody. You can set boundaries with other people and say, I don't want to get into that right now. I'm still trying to figure things out. Or something along those lines, where you're just saying, I'm not ready to talk about that right now. It's a little bit sensitive, but, I appreciate your concern.
Oh, that's always a great line. I appreciate your concern. And in parenthesis after it that you don't say is, and mind your own business, please.
Yeah. But even if you do decide to share what happened, even with close family and friends, remember that breakups are normal. Many people have gone through them. They know how difficult it is. So it is okay to share that if you do, please, but at your own pace.
Right. And you don't owe anybody an explanation. And I have had that come up in therapy many, many times. And I'll say, you don't have to explain anything to this one or that one. And they look at me surprised and say, I don't? If you spent your childhood defending yourself and defending your position on things, I think it's hard to understand that you don't owe anybody an explanation.
Not even your parents.
No.
Yep.
So you may also feel shameful about how you acted after the breakup. Maybe you made all of the classic mistakes, the begging, the pleading, the grand gesture.
The stalking.
Yeah.
The 2 gallons of ice cream.
And so now you're looking back at that regretfully, like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. Or maybe you're watching these videos after, you realize that wasn't the best course of action. If you are interested in reattracting your ex, you think, dang, like I really messed it up for myself. So there could be a lot of shame attached to that as well.
Yeah, you just gotta understand that we don't know these things. It's not like somebody ever told you what to do and then you went and did the opposite.
Yeah.
You had a natural reaction to repair your connection with somebody you care about. That's a biological evolutionary design that we have to keep us alive, right? Like an animal might instinctively pull out its claws or hide in its shell or fly away.
Right.
Ours, to feel safe, is to repair the connection. So understand that if you got overtaken with anxiety and emotions and separation anxiety, that you were desperate and begging and pleading for some time, it's normal.
Absolutely. And I'm very glad you brought that
Yeah.
up, because we hear that often. It is normal. And yes, you can be so upset. And people will say to us, I did all the things you say not to do. Okay,
yeah.
we understand how you did it. How come it happened? You're not a terrible person because of that.
Yep.
Okay?
And many of you are also afraid to tell us that you've done these things. Many of you have said, oh, I wrote the handwritten letter, or, oh, I did the good reminder text, and you'll say it and kind of look at us like bracing for our reaction.
Yeah.
It's okay to be honest with us. Trust me, we understand.
I've done it. I've done it. I can openly admit that I did it. I did the grand gesture. I've talked about that before. I didn't do a handwritten letter. That's why I drew the line. No, but I understand, like, wanting to do things to try and fix it and do these overwhelming things. I kept trying to talk about it. Let's just talk about it. I thought if we could talk about it, we could just repair it. I didn't understand this stuff. And, you've done embarrassing things too.
Ooh, plenty.
And we know that. And so we're not going to beat you up when you do those things. We understand, you didn't know. Nobody told you how to react when all of a sudden your life feels like it's coming crashing down and this person that you love so much is all of a sudden going to abandon you. And, a lot of times you feel like it's all your fault. And quite honestly, some of your partners do a real dirty job of making you feel like it was all your fault.
Oh, yes, there are some who are very skilled at that.
Particularly the avoidance.
Yeah.
They often say and do things to distort reality and make you feel like it was your fault. When, yeah, of course you made mistakes in the relationship, but they probably made worse mistakes than you did. And that happens a lot. So,
And if you didn't come from the most supportive atmosphere in the world, it's too easy to believe it.
yeah, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
And so you'll just beat yourself up.
I did it again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Isn't that a song? I did it
Oops,
again.
I did it again. So just understand that we know many of you make mistakes after a breakup, and we're not going to beat you up. We empathize. Believe me, we really do. And you're not a terrible or horrible person because you made these mistakes. You really aren't. It happens. You just have to do your best to correct the behavior. Otherwise, you're running the risk of turning the person off with unattractive behavior. This is your opportunity to grow. This is your opportunity to reflect on things and realize the mistakes you've made and think about how you can change and work on your issues to become a more secure person.
Yeah, really everybody has a chance to change if they're willing to work on it. I know, Margaret, you always say that.
I do, and one of the reasons I say it is that when I was first in the field, and I think I referred to this when I was talking about narcissism, there were very clear opinions in the mental health field that there are certain diagnoses that cannot be treated and will not change and cannot change. And I have not found that to be true at all. Not everyone will, but most people are capable, and if you invite them the right way, oftentimes they'll try. So I don't believe a word of that. If somebody really wants to change, they can do it.
And it's one thing to own your mistakes in the relationship, but it's an entirely different thing to beat yourself up over it or feel excessive guilt for it. So another thought to leave you with is that the dumper can also experience shame. So they might feel shame for leaving you in a worse off state.
For hurting you?
Exactly. Or they might feel like they disappointed friends and family by ending the relationship. They may have a lot of residual guilt. And so the reason why I tell you this is because shame really isolates us. It puts us in the place of, I'm the only one going through this and I'm different from everybody else in the worst way. It's important to remember that a breakup is hard for both parties and there can be shame on both sides.
The ultimate shame is I don't want anyone to even see me.
I was just going to say that. Like, you don't want to feel seen. You're
Right.
so ashamed of who you are. It's like, I don't want anybody to know.
Yeah.
So it's really tough. It's really tough. So what do you do? Okay, what can you do if you're feeling the breakup shame? Well, the first thing I think you have to do is grieve the loss of the breakup.
Yep.
Margaret, you want to jump in with that?
That is the first thing to do. Regardless of whatever other feelings you may have, you miss this person. And you can't dismiss those feelings. You have to make friends with them. You miss them making the coffee in the morning. You miss the jokes they told. You miss all kinds of things. Don't fight those feelings. It's important to welcome them.
The next thing that you can do is also to listen to other people's stories. And hearing what other people are also going through can help you to feel less alone.
Yep.
I mean, you see it in our comment section, story after story about what people are going through. So feel free to share if you're willing. And also, be able to talk to those people that you trust about it. And that leads me to my next point, which is to surround yourself with supportive people. One thing that can happen is that other people can shame you about the breakup too. Maybe you're beating yourself up, but you're also hearing it from family or Uncle Joe.
Uncle Grumpy.
Uncle
Grumpy. So make sure that you're surrounding yourself with those people. And remember that you don't owe anybody an explanation.
No,
not even Uncle Grumpy.
No.
Yeah. And you want to work on yourself. You want to take a look at the mistakes you've made in this relationship. Maybe there's a pattern where you've done similar things in other relationships. If you figure out what the problems are, you can correct it.
Right.
But you have to know what the problems are before you can fix it.
And it's okay to have some. Part of being an adult is owning your behavior, owning your problems. And it can seem overwhelming, but it's the only way you can solve them.
Yeah. So as you work through your issues and you become more secure and more confident, you can be proud of who you are and you can be proud of who you're becoming. And you can set new goals for yourself and figure out what it is that you want to do or how you're going to grow and how you're going to change, and figure out new dreams for yourself and redefine what you want for your own future. There's no guarantees that your ex is going to want to repair things with you. But if you stay focused on the personal growth, it's going to pay off one way or the other. Either they'll come back again and you can show them all the changes, or you'll meet new people and you'll be excited about all the new people that you have come into your life. And they're going to be blown away by how different you are than most of the other people they encounter with dating.
Yeah, and just remember that we're all a work in progress. So we're all figuring this out as we go, and nobody has all the answers except for Craig.
And Margaret.
Yeah. We're not narcissistic or anything like that.
So understand that it's normal for you to feel breakup shame. I felt it before.
Mm-hmm.
I've looked at things that I've done before and I've been embarrassed by them. I'm sure you have done it too. But it doesn't have to define you. And as you become more confident in who you are, that will start to go away, and you'll replace that with being proud of yourself and how you've handled a difficult situation.
Mm-hmm. And also, if you look back and think, wow, things could have been different, or maybe I acted even in a cringy way, that also shows growth. Because if you looked back and thought, man, I did everything perfectly, then that would mean that you're not growing. So the fact that you can look back and still see room for improvement shows your progress.
Yep. All right. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Let us know. Put a like, leave a comment. And of course, if you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Of course, Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
If you think I can be helpful to you, please sign up.
Just click on Margaret on the top of the website to do that. And of course, Coach Victoria will continue to be in the videos with us.
I'll be here.
And eventually you'll be able to do coaching with her as well. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon. To get my help personally, go to askcraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.